Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to my channel. Anyway, it's what passes for morning for me since I work nights. It's like 2:30 in the afternoon. We're gonna update the tanks here because the last couple of days have just been insane in the tanks down here. So the big tank, the Reefer 250. Well, actually, all the tanks. I had a power outage. And of course, the Neptune Apex had a problem with it. And I now need to reset this thing anytime I want to look at the parameters. It simply will not hold a connection anymore. I mean, it's definitely my bad for not having a battery backup on this thing. I mean, I should have one, and I plan to get one. But that also exposed another weakness in my setup here. Let me find a flashlight. Pen light. All right, so this Octo 6 pump here has this float valve. So it shuts the pump off when that float valve comes up. Now, I have no idea why they set it up that way, except for that it's not supposed to be down there. It's supposed to be up here somewhere. So if the water gets too high, it shuts it off. But then I have another ugly wire up top here, and I don't necessarily want that. But when the power went out, obviously the pump stopped and the chamber filled up, and it trips the float switch so that when the power comes back on, thankfully all the settings, on all the stuff remain the same, but the pump couldn't come back on because that float switch is tripped. So I'm gonna have to, for now, just disable the switch. I think I just did that. Yeah, let's turn the light on it. Yeah, float switch on, off, float switch status. So that top button there is my float switch button, is now disabled. So if I do in fact lose power and the chamber fills up, the pump will go back on, and the pump and the tank can be on its way. Now, I clearly wasn't out of power long at all, so I wasn't too worried about the tank. But I finally have signs of some kind of algae or diatom bloom or something. It's up here on the other turn. And it looks a lot more than I saw yesterday, so maybe it's time to turn the skimmer on, but we'll get back to that. The cube here, what I'm going to try doing just to start with is I've flipped the switch on the night lights, so the night lights will not come on at all. I also figured out that I lost a couple of snails in 2 days' time. Both of the big, I'm not sure they were Mexican turbo snails. The store I bought them from called them something else. But, the one I think might have just died on its own. I'm pretty sure one of the hermit crabs killed the other one, because they seem to like killing snails, honestly. The urchin there. This is going to be the third time, or I think the fourth time I've peeled this off his back. I'm going to have to just take that thing out or something. I don't know how he keeps picking it back up. Yeah. See, I still got the algae problem. I'm going to start scraping that off today, I think. But I've got some stuff to do before then. So I'm still getting these guys used to me being around them by throwing in food while I'm standing here in front of the tank. And today is the first day I've seen signs that they're starting to get the program. Because I was kind of wandering around and I seen one of them poking out the back there. So I threw some food in. And sure enough, this one's getting brave enough to just be right in front of me. So I'm gonna out and get food. I seen the other ones, they're back there getting food. I don't know if you can see them through the rocks there. There's a big enough gap in there that he can kind of hide from me and get food at the same time. So basically that's the spot they've been living in, is underneath this little cluster of rocks right here. And it's pretty interesting. I haven't seen them build, but they've clearly built this spot up, because where they were going under the rock before, over on the side here, they completely filled that in. I did not do that. And I'm pretty sure they did this spot here too. It is pretty cool watching him pop out of this little hole and pick food off. And then sneak back into his hole. Yeah, I'm starting to look forward to when I can put some more fish in here. It's probably not going to be for at least another couple of weeks, just to be safe. So here's the procedure to reset the apex. You gotta stick something in that tiny little hole, and then it does a bunch of little flashing colors, and then it goes back to orange. Let's go back here and just restart it to log in, and it's going to keep giving me errors, and then finally I get it open. I mean, thankfully it's saving all my settings, so I didn't have to like go back in and rename all this stuff again or recalibrate sensors or something. But the salt's down around 35. I just kind of left it alone now. The ORP seems to peak during the day when the lights are on. Since I haven't mentioned it before, the Reef Waves, it does look like a fairly natural wave pattern now that I've got it turned down. Somebody asked me about that in the comment section, and I wanted to make sure I addressed it. So it definitely makes like a nice swirling. I mean, you can see these eggs, they're still just kind of moving back and forth and not landing anywhere, and that's pretty much exactly what you're looking for, I think. So I think they're working good. I'm pretty happy with them. And then I walked by without explaining the rest of it. So these pumps do run both forward and reverse. So it's on like this way for I think like a minute or two, and then this way for 30 seconds, and it's on a random pattern, so it goes up and down in intensity and all that kind of stuff. So it's basically, it makes like a circle, and this one makes a circle here. Well, I've given this tank a nice cleaning. I've reset the trap. I haven't run the bristleworm trap in a little while,
And clearly something slimed up the end trying to get in there, but the hermit crabs can just smell the food in there and try and dig it apart. This hermit crab here was trying to murder that snail back there. I just had to give him a little shove to get him off of it. Huh. I thought I lost all my turbo snails. Anyway. So there's still bristleworms in here. I just spotted a couple on this rock up here. There's one. So I'm definitely still not done cleaning them out of here. It kind of made me realize that I haven't seen any of my narcissus snails that would be, you know, buried in the sand here somewhere. But then again, they are narcissus snails, so they're probably buried down in the sand here somewhere. But the stuff that was growing on in here was like a green algae now. And it came off like really easy, so that's good. But hopefully that's better. I promised to show you how intense these lights are. The white lights, so go ahead and show you. They are on the lowest setting right now. And that's about halfway. And then that's what it gets like to full. I mean, you can see what it does to the room as I turn it back down. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, those are just extremely bright. Obviously this is for a much bigger tank, or possibly to be designed to be much higher off the water, but I have turned off the night lights for now, because I can always just flip the switch when it's night and see whatever I want to see. Looks like the tank lights have just faded out over here because they were on a second ago. But I am going to go back into the Reef Beat app and just one more time. Alright, I'm going to have to reconnect to them. Yeah, in addition to the apex goofing up yesterday, the LEDs, the lights on this tank have also done the same thing, where it don't want to be connected. But it's pretty easy. I can just click anything in here, like I just click the about. It'll show me the about. Oops, close the app. Anyway, so I just click anything in there and then it comes back, which is much easier than what the Neptune Apex is doing to me, making it absolutely hard reset it every time. So I have seen clouds. This is obviously a random cloud setting that I've got it on. Anyway, we're gonna play the program because I didn't get it from the front, and we're gonna get it from the front this time. And it is using the staggered setup, despite the fact that I didn't tell it to do that. But obviously one light's coming on first and the other one, uh-oh, what happened to my left light there? So my left light did not come back on. Go back into device manager and see what's up there. At least it's easy to solve the problem with that. So lights back on, we're good. It's dark in here, nighttime. I'm wondering when I should put a cleanup crew in. So probably going to turn the skimmer on tomorrow to maybe hopefully lessen the algae that's starting to pop up. But I probably also need a cleanup crew. And I was considering buying one of those packages where you get like 50 different things in one, but I'm kind of afraid about adding that much bioload at one time. So tell me what you think. Do I just get a couple of snails, a couple of hermit crabs, or do I just go out and buy the whole package? And when do I do that? So let me know what you think. So the brine shrimp downstairs, I'm not going to take you down there. They did hatch, and they hatched in 12 hours, not 24. I was kind of surprised because there was tons of them swimming around in there. So that's doing good, and that's pretty much going to be it for today. Got more content coming for you tomorrow, so stay tuned.